Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Swanson. I'm the president of Lake Stakes Railway Historical Association. We're going to give you briefly a little tour of our facility here at Baraboo. We have a 5,000 square foot building, and it's all climate controlled in the back area where the warehouse is. We're in the front part of the building where we have a library of books for mainly for research purposes and reference. And then we've got a little office area here. So I'll just give you a quick walkthrough. I'm sure you guys want to see the scanning that we do, so we'll probably spend more time on that. We'll give you a quick tour here. So Don, my cameraman, is going to follow me around. We've got the camera mounted on a AV card here. Unexpectedly, I was in the middle of some negative sorting here earlier today, and I didn't get it done, so I brought that out here to work on. What these are is these are 6/16 size negatives. These have all been scanned already, but they've been placed into new envelopes. But I kept the old envelopes because I wanted to keep the metadata on them. Well, can you guys see that okay?
Yeah,
So
that's
the
pretty, I mean, we can get
original
the idea. We can't read the details.
Okay, sure. But the original envelope was a manila envelope. I just cut the edges open on it, and then I put the negative in an archival envelope and then slipped that inside it. That way I kept the metadata from the original negative. So anyways, this is from the Bill Rea collection, which was just donated to us probably about 3 months ago. So here's our main area. We have a little break here for people to take a break if they want to eat lunch or whatever. And I'm going to have Don swing around and we'll give you a quick view of the scanning area, which we will come back to. So in here we have, and you can see it on our other camera. We've got a camera mounted up on the ladder here, so later on when we do the scanning demo, you'll be able to see it better. But we have a large format scanner. It's 36-inch wide, color track smart LF scanner that we bought and used on eBay. It works great. It's probably about 10 to 15 years old. It scans at 600 dots per inch in color, grayscale, and bitmap. We use it mostly for drawings at bitmap. And then to the left of it is a large format inkjet plotter printer if we want to print large size drawings. And to the left, you can't see it, it's out of view, but we've got another computer with a flatbed scanner and a Nikon super cool scan slide scanner. Most all of our photo scanning I do at home. I don't do it up here. I live in Janesville, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away, so I do all my work at home rather than up here. So we'll continue to the warehouse, I guess, Don. You can hear his backup beeper there as he's backing up. Beep, beep, beep. Follow me down to the first aisle here, Don. We'll give you guys a shot down each aisle so you can kind of see how things are organized. We have lateral files, what we call filing cabinets, and then we have flat files. And then we also have a back row of steel shelves for the photography, which we'll see in a bit. But here you'll see our main lateral file system.
Let me get around here. There.
There we go. Okay, so these this particular lateral file just has a box of smaller drawings in it. Some of the lateral files actually have documents in it. So Don, if you get a shot down the hallway, if you guys see in the background, way in the distance, there is the VRHS is part of the building. They are a partner with us in the building. They have about 1,000 square feet at the end of the building where they have their own stuff stored. Well, that's their area down there. We've got a garage door where we can bring in materials at the back of the building. You can bring stuff in. And this is just a general work area. So Don will go to the next aisle. You want to do a 180?
Yeah, I was gonna do a 180.
So just a note for the PNRA listeners, PNRA, the Great Northern NP, spend a lot of time working with the Burlington route folks. So that's their collection at this facility. Keep going, Paul.
Okay. So we have Fairbanks Morse stuff here. These are parts manuals. So every time a railroad ordered a locomotive from Fairbanks Morse, they would get one of these books, and it shows all the parts that they could order for their locomotive. And we ended up with all those. Then we've got some builders' photos in print form and some other technical manuals, but this is just a tip of the iceberg of what we have in the Fairbanks Morse collection.
Freezer.
Oh,
The freezer, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, Jonathan was very interested in this, yeah, yesterday. So we do have some negatives that we are storing in the freezer. We had a problem in that we had some 8x10 film nitrate negatives that were deteriorating. This is about 3-4 years ago. So we knew that we needed to get them in a freezer to stop that. So we purchased this freezer. It's a frostless freezer, so there's no frost inside. And you can see that all the negatives are in boxes. Each box is then sealed in a plastic bag. And the freezer is full. We need another freezer.
And it's frost free.
It's frost free, that's correct. So older acetate film and nitrate film, especially the larger sizes, definitely go in the freezer. Go down this aisle, then you'll get a little sense of what we have for flat files. Let's see, Don, let's do this one here. Flat files are usually
Go up a couple.
flat files are used mostly for drawing storage. So the way we store the drawings is they are inside a folder like this.
Acid free.
Yes, there are kind of vanilla folders that we use for the more. The drawings are just laying inside the folder. Each drawing is cataloged. There's a serial number on each one, or an object number. Probably can't see it on the camera, but it's on the corner. One of the corners. Well, everything that's in a flat files in theory has been cataloged and is searchable online now. Don, follow me down a little bit further. So we do have some documents in the filing system here. These are steam erecting cards from the Phil Weigler collection. So these are just stored in the filing cabinet. They're erecting cards for steam locomotives.
And where did Phil Weibler work?
Rock Island.
Rock Island. And in this particular, there's about 6 drawers of this stuff. This is the ephemera files from Charles Stats. I transferred everything to manila folders. I wrote what was in the folder along with the session number. Later on, this will all need to be cataloged, but it's not cataloged yet. We haven't got that far. So that just gives you a sense of some of the stuff here. All right, we'll go to the next tile there, Don. Then we've got storage of empty boxes. They're up here on the right. Got 2 paper cutters here to cut paper if we need to. Here we have official guides. This is our official guide collection. The older ones are stored in these boxes because they don't sit on the bookshelf very well. You guys all recognize these, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And we got some equipment registers are there. We got another aisle here with flat files, and then the shelving you see on the left is our steel shelving. I have a little work area here where I haven't filled it up with boxes yet, but the steel shelving is our main area, which is used to store material that's stored in bankers boxes. We'll go to the next aisle. So again, here's this wall or this shelf here is pretty well full. This is going to be the extent of it when it gets filled up. This area over here is yet to fill up as we get more stuff. My work area will probably end up moving somewhere else. But each box, in theory, has a label on it that says what the contents are, along with the shelf location. And then usually it's just stuff inside the box. We try to pack as much as we can in each box. Each box is a single collection. There are some that have, if we have a small collection that fits, 2 or 3 of them in one box, I'll conjoin them in one box. But we make sure that they're identifiable between the collections. So right here we have, I see this big wall of file drawers. These are all negative drawers full of negatives. Most of this is the Bill Kuba collection. And these are just in old manila envelopes. Some of these have been scanned. Once I scan them, I have a place mark here that says scanning start and then scanning end. So these in this little area have been scanned because I've got this little marker here. But there's just so many of them, I can't deal with it in any other way. And then Don, come on down. We'll down to the last row here. if we can make it around the corner. There we go. So the most recent large collection we got was the Bill Rhea collection, and that is in these drawers. And this, the major part of this is what was the Charles Fellstead collection. These have not been scanned yet if they're still in the drawers. If they have been scanned, I have transferred them to boxes, and those are the boxes we saw out front. So again, let's see, we had some minor negatives here we're going to look at, right? So here's a box that is full of negatives. This is a Bruce Meyer collection. Light too bright, or can you see okay?
Oh,
Yeah,
we're all right.
it's okay.
Okay, so these are all 616 size negatives in the Bruce Meyer collection. I have scanned probably about 10% of these. But when we got these into the building, they were in 3 very bulky rolling filing cabinets that were custom made, and they took up a lot of room. So we just decided we were going to transfer them to archival boxes and then put the boxes inside the banker's boxes. So 6 smaller boxes fit in each banker's box. I would say there's probably there's probably 800 per little box. So what's the math? 4,800 slides per banker box. So I think anybody got any questions?
Not so far. Just keep going. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, did we cover everything, Jonathan, in the warehouse?
I think we have. Yeah, let's see what you guys do out front with all this cool stuff you've got.
Okay, we'll roll on out to the scanner there and do a scanner demo. Get the door put on. In the warehouse, we keep the temperature at 65 degrees constant. And that's so that there's a good environment for the materials. So as I mentioned earlier, see, is the other camera up there still working?
Yeah, it looks like I see camera 1 and I see camera 2. Yeah, and camera 3, I think, is going to be your screen share, as I recall.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't doing something funky. So as I mentioned, this is the main scanner we have for large format. I'm going to demo a few drawings here. There's different formats that you get. You guys are probably familiar with this. I assume you guys do deal with some of this large format scanning.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how other people do things, and we
Right,
want to,
right.
always look at best practices.
All right, so here we have a ink on linen original drawing here. And it's in pretty good shape. There's one dog-eared corner here. The scanner does not like dog-eared corners or curled edges. So what I generally do is I pick the best edge on the drawing, and that's the one that I stick into the scanner. So I'll turn the screen sharing on here. I need my glasses.
Jonathan, you got to see this in person, is that right?
Yes, I was visiting Baraboo, my ancestral hometown, back in November, and Paul kind of wowed me, and so I wanted to invite him back as a guest first chance we got.
So can everybody see the screen?
I see SmartWorks Easy Touch, and now you've gone from there. So the 3 buttons on the left do what now, Paul?
Oh, yep, I can see it. Okay. So we can tell it to scan in color, which is this button. Grayscale is this button. And then can you see my cursor moving around? Yes, you can.
Yep.
And then this is the bitmap button. So I've got it set for bitmap. I'm going to set it at 600 dot per inch. And I can adjust the brightness that it scans at here. So if I turn the number up, that's making it brighter, so it's lighter, or I can make it darker. But ink and linen, generally I do at 0 unless it's a dirty drawing, and then I have to lighten it a little bit. So it is ready to go. I've got all the settings where I want it to go. I've already told it where I want to save the file. So when you stick it in a certain amount of length, it'll sense there's something there, and then you have about 3 seconds before it'll start pulling the drawing in. So you've got a little time to, make sure you got the drawing in there straight. So I'm just gonna push it in, and here she goes. So it pulls it in, it senses the size of the paper, and then it backs it back out. So now it's parked and ready to go. This particular scanner has firmware that is set, I cannot change the setting, but when it gets to the end of the drawing, it stops and then it shoves the drawing back out. Generally, I stop it from doing that because I don't want the drawing to go back through the scanner. I'd rather just take it out the back end. So when it stops scanning, I push one of the buttons on the top here to tell it to stop, and then I push the other button to have it send the drawing out the rest of the way. So here we go. Push the green button. There you see it stopped. Right now it reversed, and now it's starting to crinkle up because it's on that dog-eared corner. So now I'm gonna push this button to take the drawing out. Set that off to the side. And look in here, and what do we got? There it is. So we'll have to rotate it 180 because it's upside down, but there you go. It's pretty good. Looks like it's pretty straight on the line.
Now, you just explain what you just did there, Paul, so that people could see that. That went quick.
Okay, sure. So in Photoshop, I assume you guys use Photoshop for image editing then?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
But some
if you
people
put
aren't
your
as familiar as others.
Okay, if you put your cursor in the rulers here on the side and you hold the left mouse button down, as you pull down, it'll pull a guideline down so you can check to see if your lines are straight. And it looks like it's pretty darn close there, Jonathan.
Yeah, I would say that that one turned out just fine, Paul.
And you can do it from the sides too, if you want. So that looks good. And then if you want to crop it, you use the select tool here and you can highlight the area. I'm going right to the edge of the paper here. I don't like to crop anything off just in case somebody wants to know what's on the edge of the paper. But the scanner will add just a little white space around the paper, so it's a little bit larger. And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain here in a bit. So we push crop, and it takes that away, and there we have just the paper. And then we save it.
Now you're saving it as a TIFF file at this point.
It's a TIFF file. It's a 1-bit file. No compression. So there's no LZW compression. And there you can see the settings. So no compression. All right. So next, we'll try a few other samples here. Jonathan wanted me to show you guys a couple varieties here. So here we have a traditional blueprint. So it's white lines on a blue background. And this drawing is actually in really good shape. The lines are nice and sharp. There's good contrast. This should be able to scan with no problem. Now again, you see there's one corner here, it's got a dog ear on it. I think the scanner will be able to deal with that. I'll flip it over, do the other side. Okay, here we go. The scanner is really fast. I think it's the scanning actually is faster than all the other work that you got to do when it comes to dealing with the image. So obviously it's white line on black, so we just do it on Photoshop, which is Control I. Now this one is a little crooked. So to bitmap can only be rotated every 90 degrees. If we want to rotate it,
Speak up a little bit, Paul. You're burbling.
I'm sorry. Come in a little closer, Don. I think the microphone's too far away. So if you want to rotate a drawing at maybe 1% or 2% rather than 90% or 180, you have to convert it to grayscale. So the first thing we have to do, and I normally would do this on a different computer. I'm just doing this so you guys can see it right now, but we would go to mode here and convert to grayscale. Now we can rotate it as little as 0.1%. And I'm just looking at this here. If we draw the line down and we see how far out, I'm going to guess this is 0.2%. So we go to rotate, custom, and we're going to try -2 to the left. -0.2, I'm sorry. So there it rotated it. And Jonathan, that looks pretty close.
I'd say you've had some practice at this, Paul.
I'm going to do 1% more.
Okay.
I'm 50 about this. All right, we'll do 1% more, and then we'll say it's good. All right, so then we got to flip it 180 to get it right side up. Okay. Now we're going to select off the edges of the paper. And we'll select crop. Okay, now we're done rotating it. Now we're going to convert it back to a bitmap. And then it's automatically saving it at 600 dot per inch, which is good. Actually, just click OK. Now, what I will do, this is a personal preference, is I'll go around every edge. I'll select it and then I'll delete. Because you see there's a little black line here on the upper right side on the edge. I'm going to get rid of that. So we do that, and it's going to be a little tougher down here because there isn't as much room. But we did it. And the other edge is there. So there we go. So we got white all around the outside of the border. And then we save it.
Okay, do we have any questions at this point?
No questions.
Okay, well, I guess we keep
All
going.
right. Let's try a hard luck case. Jonathan, do you want me to do a long drawing? I know you mentioned that before.
Well, we're kind of looking at the time. We're about the bottom of the hour. So I think, we've got about another 10 minutes or so.
Okay, is there anything else specifically you want me to cover?
I think we've really sort of covered some of the basics. If you wanted to do a long one quick and we would be done by about 3:40 your time, I'd say I'd be right on schedule.
Okay,
Jonathan?
we'll talk about
Yes.
metadata for a little bit.
I got a question.
Oh, we got a question. Hey,
Oh, yeah, all right.
all right.
We chatted yesterday also. I was in on Jonathan's call. So for most of the documents that we do at the PNRA, we do almost opposite of you. We almost always scan in color. It's the only time we do black and white is if the master is truly black and white and has no color elements on it at all.
Mhm.
We always scan it color, and we always scan it 300 DPI. Some things that are extra special, like a promotional poster or something like that, we'll do at 600 DPI. You do a lot of grayscale or 1-bit, and you do it 600 DPI. And I'm wondering if you could kind of editorialize on the differences between our two archive standards there.
Sure, I can. Basically, I have more of a graphic artist background and publication graphics background. If you're publishing a bitmap image in a magazine or a book, the bare minimum they're going to want is probably 1200 dot per inch. To get below that, you're going to start seeing pixelization. 300 dot per inch would be not high enough resolution for use in, say, Trains magazine or a historical society's own magazine. It's going to look like a fax copy.
Sure.
So my thought is, well, it's easier to downsize or make an image a smaller resolution than it is to upsize or make it a higher resolution. My philosophy is start it as high a resolution as we can, because we can always make it smaller if we want to. And I also have a philosophy that once we scan an item, I don't want to ever have to go back to that item and rescan it. So it's one and done for as far as I'm concerned when I scan something. There might be a very rare case when somebody wants a poster or they want it blown up for a wall hanging or something, and they would need a higher resolution. Now, that's for bitmap. For grayscale, for publication purposes, 300 dots per inch is sufficient, as well as in color. So you're okay for doing a grayscale, but if it's a line image, like a map or one of these drawings, you're not going to do it. The publication would probably prefer it in bitmap as opposed to grayscale. Photography is a whole different story. 300 dot per inch for a photograph is fine for publication if you're running it at 100%. That being said, I do scan negatives at 2400 DPI just for the fact that if we got a request, somebody purchased an image and it was a modeler and he was interested in a detail or a rivet or a brake valve or some detail in the car and he wanted the photograph blown up, I would already have it at high enough resolution that I could do that. I could open it in Photoshop, highlight the area that he was interested in, and then save the file and give him the image. And I have had that happen a few times. Not a lot, but it has happened. So that's my philosophy. Just scan it at a higher resolution and be done with it. The one drawback to that is you are going to use a lot of storage space. In our photo collection, now we're up to about 12 terabytes. And that's for 85,000 images.
And so then my question is, Paul, as we took a tour of the warehouse, about how full do you feel your building is right now?
I'd say on the average, the capacity, we talk about the different storage systems, the lateral files, the flat files, the tube storage, and the steel shelvings. And if you average those all together, right now we're at about 65 to 70% capacity.
Okay, and I know that you guys have got a campaign, Lake States. What's your website for people that are interested? If you could put that in the chat.
Sure. I can just show you on the screen, or I guess I didn't have it.
There you go. Or just take a quick look at your website, and we're coming up on the last couple of minutes of today. But you know, I've enjoyed our time together, and I think next time when you come back, I'd love to have you back. Maybe we could talk about some of the collections that you're adding and some of the new cool stuff that you guys are getting in.
Jonathan, can I ask another one?
More about photographs.
We got another question. Got another question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You mentioned yesterday ironing some of the drawings. I thought I was the only person in North America, only adult male, took an iron out and ironed old drawings. But apparently there's somebody else that does that. One of the problems with an iron, though, is if you get it too hot, you'll wrinkle the paper, it'll curdle, right? How do you iron your drawings and not make a mess of things?
Maybe we should do that for the next meeting there, Jonathan. Well, we set the iron at the next to lowest setting we can on it. And the key is to keep the iron moving. Of course, you would not want to stop it on the drawing and have it sit there and burn a hole in the drawing like the Three Stooges would. But you just got to be careful, and you got to think of it as flattening the paper out. I have not had a problem with it curling it. I generally use it on the creases in the paper. I just dealt with a large collection or am dealing with currently, our largest, but is a larger one that we just recently got. It's all Rock Island drawings, and they were all folded up and stuffed in filing cabinets. And they've been that way for 60, 70, 80 years. So when we got them, they all had these creases in them. And I would lay the drawing down flat. I would unfold it, flatten it out by hand at first. I put them under some weights. We have these old doors. You can see to the left here. Maybe you can't because of the angle of the camera, but
Oh, that's what those are. Those are doors. Okay.
yeah, that's a door. Yes, like a house door. That the
And you
drawings
use that as a flattening device.
Yeah, so I would just sandwich the drawings in between those and put weights on tops, and then I'd leave it like that for a week, and then I'd come back, and then I would pull them out, and I'd use tape to repair the tears in it, and then do the ironing bit. So
I just want to
you
just
use,
dive in quick and ask Hudson. Hudson, have you ever ironed anything?
Just railroad ties.
All right,
Um,
thanks, Hudson.
So
Dean, back to you.
We use two patio window glass sheets, about 4 foot by 6 feet, and press the drawings between the two glass sheets.
Oh, that would work. least you can
And
see
then
what you
for
were
the
doing.
iron, what I use is like a turkey probe or a meat probe, and I just make sure that the iron's no hotter than 160 degrees. If I get
Okay.
above 160, then I know, and for the most part, I don't have to keep the iron moving. I can just keep it flat. But you're absolutely right. It's a game changer as far as getting folds to lay down flat or wrinkles, overlaps. It's a tremendous, great tool.
We've also discussed using encapsulating. Have you guys done any encapsulating?
No,
Oh,
I have taken some super valuable ones to a professional restoration shop that does high-end artwork, and they had some glass plates there that they also compress stuff to. That's the highest
Okay.
stuff that we've done.
Well, encapsulating is basically you've seen the ads on TV for the plastic bag that you can put your food in and then you seal it because it vacuums all the air out. That's kind of what encapsulating is. It's very expensive though. But we have some drawings in the back that I'm working on that are really rough shape. They're going to involve a lot of repairs, and they're probably never going to be able to be good enough to go through the scanner unless I use the Mylar shuttle. But that's the one thing that we're dealing with drawings right now.
Do you have your standards like written down, like what's your the overall archiving standards are for your photos and stuff like that? Do you have like a document? Be great to share that.
Yes and no. Let me work on that a bit and I'll get back to you. We do have some of it in writing, but it needs to be fleshed out. And one of the things that is on our front burner to get done this winter is to get our procedures manual updated and filled out, because there's a lot of stuff that we've been doing that we don't
Um,
or haven't
Yeah.
documented well enough.
Okay, I'm going to end the
Okay.